Segment 4, Israel and Iran. Let's go right at it. Story in the Associated Press late April, quote, Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak says the world can't afford to wait too long to see if Iran backs down on its nuclear program. Barak said he supports the U.S. focus on tougher economic sanctions against Iran, but he added that if the international community waits too long, Iran could acquire a nuclear weapon that he says would change the landscape, and not just of the Middle East, close quote. Ehud Barak, former prime minister, former professional tough guy, 35 years in the Israeli Defense Forces, rising to chief of the general staff. What is Ehud Barak saying?
Ehud Barak is laying. Ehud Barak is laying the predicate for a strike against Iran's nuclear facilities.
Is he attempting to make it easier for the United States to do so, or is he warning, if you don't, we will?
I don't know the answer to that question. It is, I think...
In some way, it's the question of the hour, though, isn't it, John?
Well, I don't think it's the question of the hour because I don't think I would... nothing would both surprise me, please me, and make me revisit a great deal of my thinking over the last couple of years than the fact that Barack Obama would choose to strike the Iranian nuclear program. I would revisit most of what I think about his foreign policy and his approach to the world because I believe what I believe about this very deeply. It seems almost science fictional to me at this point that the United States will take military action against Iran. Therefore, it will be left to Israel. That is not a good option.
Let me give you two quotations, just to set up what you're about to address. President Ahmadinejad of Iran speaking in 2005. This is the English translation released by his own press agency. Our dear Imam, they're quoting him, and here Imam he's referring to Ayatollah Khomeini, said that the occupying regime, Israel, must be wiped off the map for great justice, and this was a very wise statement, close quote. Lieutenant General Ronald Burgess, chief of the Defense Intelligence Agency of the United States, asked in April how long it would be before Iran could produce enough enriched uranium to make a nuclear weapon. Quote, we're talking 1 year, close quote. All right. Now you tell me what you're thinking as an American, as the editor of commentary. You're watching the scene carefully in Israel. You have family there. You know the politics of Israel. What are people thinking in Israel? How do people even face this kind of existential question that seems to be taking shape very quickly?
In Israel, there has never been a more unifying position, pretty much in my memory, than that Iran. Every effort has to be made, including military action, to prevent Iran from getting the bomb. So much so that it is understood, and this is where the horror comes in about American inaction, it is all but understood that an Israeli strike will lead to a counterstrike that could well kill thousands of Israelis living in cities, living in Tel Aviv. Unlikely that it would be Jerusalem because of the Dome of the Rock, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, but that Israelis are so frightened of and so worried about the meaning of Iran having a nuclear bomb that they are willing to look the horror in the eye of a war of a sort that we haven't seen sort of for a Western-style democracy since World War II, with the actual real possibility of airstrikes on a city.
On civilians.
Now, why is that? That is because they take Ahmadinejad at his word. He says he wants to wipe them off the map. He will have the means to do so. He says he believes that this is a precursor to the return of the 13th Imam. This is the doctrinal vision of Shia Islam, which is the which is the sectarian doctrine of the Islamic Republic of Iran, take him at his word. Believe what he says. He's telling you what he's going to do. It is too great a risk. Once he has the bomb, he can use it.
The counter-argument is, all right, look, they've got a kind of nutty guy there. But Tehran is a sophisticated city. There's a high level of education. Surely there are constraining forces on him. Surely this is talk to the ignorant part of his base. And relax. The United States, we can live with Pakistan that has 100 nuclear missiles. We can live with North Korea, which apparently has 6, 7, 8, 9. Certainly we can live with Iran with 1 or 2.
Well, first of all, we don't know if we can live with North Korea. That's number one. We have no idea whether we can live with North Korea or not. And Iran is an ideological regime. It was created as an ideological theocratic regime. That is its foundational basis. He may be a nutty guy, but I think nobody should presume that the Ayatollah Khomeini was a nutty guy, and nobody should presume that the mullahs who run the state apparatus are nutty guys. And we have seen it's a wonderfully civilized and restrained country, except when there's an election that gets stolen and people go into the streets and then they crack down like any totalitarian regime cracks down. I mean, there was this moment in June 2009 when it looked like maybe the regime was going to crumble, and that moment lasted about 18 hours.